Okay, great. I'll connect you now. Okay, Jared, you're on with Albert.
Hello, great.
Hey, Jared, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, man. Thank you. You're popping up everywhere. I've been seeing your names in like all these films lately, and that's awesome. I think you're gonna be like one of the big directors this year.
Well, I certainly thank you, man. I hope so. That would be great.
Awesome. So I saw Deadlock, and I was really surprised because I rarely got to see Bruce Willis in a villain role, and he did it just fine here, as well as seeing Patrick Muldoon in this grizzle type hero role that reminded me of like something from the late '80s, early '90s. Overall, this was a great film.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it was cool to see Bruce, sort of play the bad guy. So I hope the audience, people watching, enjoy it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I thought Patrick too. I thought what he brought was was funny and interesting, and glad you liked it.
Awesome. So my first question is, I saw that you were listed as a co-writer. How did this idea come about?
That's a good question. It was sort of, I had this idea a long time ago. So, and I wrote the first draft, which is completely different. A long time ago. So I did a lot of it. It was sort of one of those projects that you pitch, and then people are like, oh, I like it, but here's some notes. And then I had a lot of close calls on this one. I had a lot of script was optioned, at one point a couple times, option expired. People were like, oh, no, we're going to make this movie, or we're going to make this movie. And that's just really how it is in the movie business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You get projects, you think they're going to go, and you get excited. And then, of course, a lot of times they fall apart, and you're just like, oh, fuck,
Yeah.
So that happened on this one, and luckily, eventually it's like anything else. It got in the right hand at the right time. So, a lot of it, luck certainly plays a factor because
That's awesome.
there's a lot of great screenplays, circulating, and sad the reality is most of the screenplays start getting along. Won't shot.
Mm-hmm.
And turn it into a movie.
Yeah, and what I like about you is that while this project may at first seem like it's falling apart, other filmmakers would probably just give up, but you just kept going. You just kept working on other films. It seems like, and then finally, when the opportunity came, it now it comes to life. And I gotta say, I think it was well worth the wait.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I've been doing this for a bit. I'm just like addicted to the craft, to the filmmaking. So I'm always conjuring up ideas. I just got ideas for movies coming in my head all the time, and I write them, and other people have good ideas. Sometimes I'll write them. Sometimes so. And I just I enjoy it. So for me, it's I'm very fortunate, very grateful to to have a film with big names.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm a filmmaker, so it's like if it's a bigger budget or a smaller budget, obviously you want to grow and do bigger and bigger, and of course everybody wants to be Steven Spielberg, but I enjoy the process. So the really small budgets are tough. The micro budget stuff. That's
I think that and I believe that's the one that's like the most appreciation these days, the indie films, because it's more creative, it's more original. Like I said, I rarely see Bruce Willis in the villain role. He did such a great job here. You know, I like that he was this mastermind, and you know, he just played it off really nicely. And you rarely get to see that from him in the villain capacity. But I thought he did a great job here.
Yeah, me too, man. He crushed it. You know, and I'll also give credit to, you know, the actors that, you know, that worked with him. You know, they really did good in terms of, you know, kind of working with him and getting the great reaction. So, you know,
Yeah.
it fell together nicely on that one.
Yeah, and I've heard so many. I've heard now lately, like, you know, he's like the funnest guy to work with on the set. You know, it must have been the same thing with this one.
Yeah, I mean, he's cool. You know, he shows up, he does the work. He's a seasoned professional veteran of the screen. So, you know, I'm lucky to have him.
That's awesome.
You know,
and it must have been great. And as you mentioned, it was great working with Patrick. I think, you know, I've seen Patrick do different types of roles, and I think this is one of his best ones. I like that he played this grizzled ex-military officer turned, you know, a security guy, and he's like our big hero. And I think he just did I think he did a phenomenal job, and he should definitely do more roles like this.
Me too, man. Yeah, you know, I worked with him, you know, years ago on a werewolf movie.
Was that Alpha Wolf? Is that the one?
Little Dead Rotting Hood.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It was fun. We had Eric Balfour and, you know, Romeo Miller, and Marina Sirtis was on that one. And, but yeah, no, it was great to work with him again, and you know, he really put the work in and came up with, you know, a good you know, a completely different character than
what we're used to.
That's a testament to his acting craft. You know, that he can play it. You know, he created a character with a little, you know, he did a little southern twang thing, and so that was fun. You know, he really got into it.
That's awesome.
And he worked out. Yeah, he showed up and he was ripped. So he was like, yeah, I've been working out with my trainer, and, you know, making sure, you know, he wanted to look good, and he did.
Yeah,
he did.
I totally think he did. How long did shooting take, and what difficulties did you face?
And what difficulties?
Yeah, like how long did shooting take, and like what were some of the big challenges, if any, that you had to face during production?
Well, you know, it's funny, the question sort of answers itself, because we had so few days to shoot the movie that the difficulty was shooting the movie in so few days. And man, you know, it's just tough, man. I much prefer to have a few more days. You know, I would have loved to have, you know, the movie would have been better. I mean, I'm really proud of the way it came out and everything. I hope it does great. I'm confident. But, you know, I like having a little bit more time to, you know, we tried to do it was a tight schedule. Tight schedule. And you know, when you're shooting very fast, which is pretty much
you make the most of what you got, and I think you did it nicely here.
Thank you, man. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I mean, the budget and the schedule are always going to be you know, challenges because, you know, I like big spectacle stuff, you know, tanks and Humvees and army soldiers, you know, lots of bad guys, and that's expensive. I
Yeah.
have extensive visions, I guess.
Well, maybe one day you'll get notice and they'll get wind of it. They'll give you a bigger budget for one of your films down the road.
Yeah, man, that's the plan, bro. You know, just keep going, and I mean, of course, do make the most of what you have, and then when you have more, make the most of that, and then I'm sure it never ends, because you get the James Cameron level, and that, now you're spending like $1 billion making a movie, so I don't need $1 billion, just
No, just enough.
just give me enough.
Yeah.
I'll crush it. I'll do a great movie. I'll make it look a lot bigger.
Awesome. So finally, what is next for you that you can talk about?
So I got 2 projects. Another one that has Bruce called Vendetta. We have Bruce Willis, Thomas Jane, Mike Tyson, Clyde Sanders, Theo Rossi. It was a really cool one. We actually shot it, pretty shortly after Deadlock. The original title of Deadlock was called Reactor. So for me, Deadlock, will always kind of be Reactor because I ran around town pitching Reactor so long. So
That's whatever works.
I'm like Reactor, and then the movie comes out as Deadlock, and you're like, okay.
All right. Yeah. Gotta love the distributors. Yeah, but that's a good title. That is a good title. You gotta love the distributors, but that is a pretty good title, Deadlock. I like it.
You know what? It makes way more sense. Originally, the movie was going to be set at a nuclear power plant, a reactor. So
Yeah.
and then the main character sort of is reacting. He's the reactor. So it works with a nuclear power plant, but we switched it up to a water dam. So the reactor title instantly made no sense. So Deadlock,
That's it.
we were actually trying to come up with titles. I remember because, and I had a few alternate titles that I kind of pitched. I'm not sure what they are now, Deadlock was cool. Whoever came up with Deadlock, shout out to that person. I don't know who they are, but that's a cool title.
It is. And Deadlock is coming out on December 3rd, and those who want to see Bruce Willis in a different light that many are not used to, they're going to want to see this, especially with its throwback to like 80s, 90s action films. And Jared, you are the man. I can't wait to see more of your stuff, and thank you so much again for taking the time to talk about the movie.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right, you take care. All right, bye.